Well, we're pretty much set fair, if truth be told. Downton seems to be in a fairly good state. With the story has moved on 18 months from the end of the TV series. Everyone's that little bit older and wiser, perhaps, but there's no great internal strife at the family. And then this letter arrives saying that the royals are going to come and visit, and that impacts absolutely everybody who lives and works in the house, from ourselves to Daisy the maid, the kitchen maid. Everyone has to pull their weight and make this visit a success.
Although Cora seems to enjoy a very luxurious position in the house because she's experiencing all the anticipation and excitement of this impending visit, but her level of responsibility doesn't seem to go beyond the pressure of what she's going to wear, because Mary has very much taken over the running of the household. So it's very nice for my character because Mary is shouldering all the stress, and I'm very graciously allowing her to, and just kind of enjoying it.
Certainly in my case. And what I did take note of was that Julian Fellowes, who wrote and created and has written the series and the movie, based elements of Robert, my character, on his own father, who he described as a firm but fair patriarch, but clearly a liberal-minded man and a compassionate man. And I think that sense of compassion and tolerance goes through so many of the characters and is in Julian himself. And I think is one of the reasons the characters have resonated, is that the creator of this world cares about the characters deeply. So you sort of know you're in safe hands. That's really where I came from.
I feel as though I was unwittingly rehearsing the part for years before it was even an idea in Julian's mind, because I was in England raising English daughters who would look at me and talk at me with an English accent, and we were coming from two different cultures. So in that respect, I think I bring my own experience to a certain extent to the part. But who knows where it comes from. I mean, I feel the part of Cora really, I really did find it almost after we began shooting, because at the beginning she could have been any number of people. I mean, she was a woman in a situation. She was a woman who had brought this fortune to the family, and because of the, I don't know if you remember, but because of the details of the entail, she was facing this situation. So there was any kind of way that kind of situation could have been personified, and I think we slowly formed it. But then I had this idea in my mind that she came from a kind of a background in America that was like the Mayflower, what we call the founders of America. But lo and behold, Shirley MacLaine, an ex kind of tap dancer, it was cast as my mother. So that sort of reoriented my whole idea about what Cora's background is. And then I think it wasn't until 3 years into it I also found out that she had a Jewish father. So it was a sort of a work in progress.
Oh gosh, there's so many along the way, really. But I think when you have the group scenes, be it there's a sequence of a parade when the king and queen are in town, and they view a parade of the horses, and you saw on the big movie screen, you see this extraordinary sweep of pageantry, British pageantry, coupled with detail of family life, be it within the royal family or indeed the family who live and work at Downton. So I think that's encapsulates Downton Abbey at its best. This sweeping vistas, this sense of epic grandeur, but also tiny domestic stories that you and I can relate to.
There were a couple of moments for me as well when there was an experience where we were doing a scene as a very, very big cast, and that's so difficult to do. Everybody has to really stay concentrated and really hear one another and really all hear the same music as in terms of how the scene should go. And there was a couple of times during the course of the series when it was such a sort of fulfilling feeling to feel all these people coming together and working almost as one person, even though it was a big group. I remember one scene where it was D-Day, and we were all standing around.
Well, not D-Day, the Armistice Day.
Armistice Day, and I remember feeling it then. There was just something about everybody as working as one.